In the late hours of May 18th, just after 11 p.m. in Japan, something quiet but incredibly powerful began spreading across the figure skating world. On the official Instagram account of Riku Miura, a single photo was uploaded without dramatic music, without a major announcement, and without any long emotional statement. But within only a few hours, fans everywhere realized this was not just another social media post. It was the beginning of an entirely new chapter for Riku. The post revealed that a brand new exhibition program had officially entered production. And standing beside Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara once again was legendary choreographer Shailin Bourne. Only 1 month had passed since the pair announced their retirement, yet already the Olympic champions had reunited with the woman who helped create some of the most important programs of their career. Fans immediately understood how meaningful this was. Within 14 hours, the post collected nearly 40,000 likes. The comment section quickly filled with reactions from elite skaters around the world. Top ice dancers like Madison Chalk and Olivia Smart responded almost instantly, while figure skating fans across the globe began sharing theories about what this mysterious new exhibition could become. And the timing itself felt emotional. Only 3 months earlier, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara had completed one of the greatest comeback stories in Olympic figure skating history. After a costly mistake during the short program at the Milan Olympics, many fans believed the gold medal dream was over. But the very next day, Riku delivered an unforgettable free skate, scoring a historic 158.13 points and capturing Japan's first ever Olympic gold medal in pair skating. For many athletes, that would have been the perfect ending. But for Riku, it may have been the start of something even bigger. In her Instagram caption, Riku Miura explained that the new exhibition had been choreographed by Shailin Bourne, the same legendary creator behind their iconic short program, Paint It Black. She described the new piece as very cool and promised fans they would continue training hard so they could show Riku to the world once again. But hidden inside that simple post were clues that immediately captured the attention of skating fans everywhere. Black and green heart emojis. A photo of Ryuichi Kihara lying face down on the ice, and the quiet atmosphere of Kansai Ice Arena itself. Nothing about the post felt accidental. To understand why fans reacted so emotionally, you first need to understand who Shailin Bourne really is. In figure skating, her name carries enormous weight. Born in Ontario, Canada, Shailin first became famous as an elite ice dancer alongside her longtime partner Victor Krotz. Together, they shattered barriers that had existed in ice dance for decades. In 2003, they became the first North American team in history to win the World Championship title in ice dance, breaking years of European dominance in the sport. But incredibly, her second career became even more legendary than her first. After retiring from competition, Shailin transformed into one of the most respected choreographers in modern skating history. She worked with names like Yuzuru Hanyu, Nathan Chen, Shoma Uno, Kaori Sakamoto, Evgenia Medvedeva, and Ilya Malinin. Olympic medalists, world champions, some of the greatest skaters of an entire generation. Her connection with Yuzuru Hanyu became especially legendary. She helped create programs like Saimai, the masterpiece that carried Hanyu to his second Olympic gold medal. Over the years, Shailin earned multiple International Skating Union awards for Best Choreographer and became recognized as one of the most influential artistic minds in modern figure skating. That is why this reunion matters so much. For skaters, working with Shailin Bourne is like asking the world's greatest architect to design your dream home. The moment she agrees to create a program, expectations instantly rise because fans know something unforgettable is coming. And yet, despite her global demand, she keeps returning to Riku.
Why?
Because their connection goes beyond choreography. From 2024 through the 2026 Olympic season, Riku's short program, Paint It Black, became one of the defining pair skating programs of the modern era. Dark, dramatic, emotional, and deeply cinematic, it completely transformed their artistic identity. Originally released by the Rolling Stones in 1966, Paint It Black tells a story of grief, emptiness, and emotional darkness. The lyrics describe wanting to paint the world black after losing love and hope. And Ryuichi turned that emotion into one of the most unforgettable Olympic performances in skating history.
But now, something has changed.
Because this time, green has appeared alongside the black. And in figure skating, colors are never chosen randomly. Black traditionally represents darkness, determination, power, and emotional intensity. But green is an extremely unusual choice in skating because it often disappears visually against the white ice and bright arena lighting. Skaters who intentionally choose green usually connect it to rebirth, life, growth, healing, and renewal. Suddenly, the symbolism becomes incredibly powerful. Black and green together can represent life emerging from darkness, hope growing after despair, a new future beginning after the end of competition itself. And that interpretation becomes even stronger when fans notice the image of Ryuichi Kihara lying collapsed on the ice. At first glance, the image looks casual, almost like a simple break during choreography practice. But many skating insiders believe it may actually reveal the opening pose of the exhibition program itself. And if that theory is true, the storytelling implications become enormous. Programs that begin from a fallen position almost always symbolize transformation. A body slowly rising from the ice represents someone rebuilding themselves after pain, darkness, or emotional collapse. And the most fascinating detail is this. The person lying on the ice is Ryuichi Kihara. Traditionally, in pair skating, the man leads while the woman emotionally follows. But this choreography may completely reverse that structure. Riku Miura standing while Ryuichi begins from the ground could symbolize a much more modern and emotionally layered narrative, one focused on healing, rebirth, and emotional support between equals. That kind of storytelling is exactly what made Shaolin born legendary. Years ago, while discussing the creation of Yuzuru Hanyu's Saimai, she explained that her greatest strength as a choreographer comes from discovering the skater's inner vision and transforming it into a story on the ice. And now, after helping create Ryuichi's Olympic masterpiece, she may be helping them create something even more personal. Not a program designed for judges, not a routine built to chase medals, but pure artistic expression. A story about identity after retirement. A story about what remains after Olympic glory. Even the location itself feels meaningful. Kansai Ice Arena is not one of Japan's most famous skating facilities. Compared to Tokyo or Nagoya, it remains relatively quiet and receives far less media attention. That privacy may have allowed the pair to focus entirely on creativity, without cameras constantly following them. But there may be another reason as well. Riku Miura's hometown is located in the Kansai region. Training there after retirement may quietly suggest they are beginning to build their future in Kansai itself. And if Ryuichi eventually establish a coaching academy in Japan someday, Kansai suddenly becomes a very realistic possibility. That future may begin sooner than fans expect. From July 31st through August 2nd, the Destiny Tour will take place at Tokyo Tatsumi Ice Arena, and many now believe this new exhibition program will finally make its world premiere there. Even the title feels emotional. Destiny. According to reports, the name was personally chosen by Riku Miura herself. And suddenly, everything begins connecting together. The Olympic comeback, the retirement announcement, the black and green symbolism, the fallen opening pose, the reunion with Shaolin born. All of it now feels like one continuous story. A story about endings becoming beginnings. And perhaps the most emotional detail of all is this. The words Ricky used in her Instagram caption no longer sounded like the words of an athlete chasing scores. They sounded like the words of an artist preparing to share something deeply personal with the audience. Because retirement did not end Ryuichi's story. It may have finally allowed Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara to begin telling the story they truly wanted to create all along. That very first chapter of Ryuichi's new journey began with a reunion with Shaolin born. But now the question becomes even bigger. What will the next page of this story reveal? As we mentioned in the previous part, the single Instagram photo posted by Riku Miura on May 18th quietly shook the entire figure skating world. Only 1 month after announcing retirement, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara had already reunited with one of the greatest choreographers in skating history to begin creating a brand new exhibition program. And in this second part, we are going to carefully break down every hidden clue inside that post. The meaning behind the black and green heart emojis. The reason Ryuichi Kihara was shown collapsed on the ice. The significance of Kansai Ice Arena as the filming location. And most importantly, how all of these details may connect to the future project known as the Destiny Tour. With reactions from international skating media and expert analysis, the outline of this mysterious new program is finally beginning to appear. Let's begin with the black and green hearts. In figure skating, color is never just decoration. Costume colors, lighting choices, and visual themes often become the emotional foundation of an entire performance. And throughout skating history, black has always symbolized strength, darkness, determination, and drama. Legendary programs like Yuzuru Hanyu's Saimai, Shoma Uno's Bolero, and many iconic performances from Evgenia Medvedeva relied heavily on black costumes because choreographers believe black naturally pulls the audience's attention more sharply than any other color. But this time, black was not alone. Riku Miura specifically chose black and green together. And in figure skating, green is an extremely unusual choice.
Why?
Because green often disappears visually against the white ice, bright arena lights, and rink surroundings. It is not an easy color to make stand out. Yet the skaters who intentionally choose green usually attach a very specific meaning to it.
Life.
Rebirth, nature,
Growth.
renewal. And suddenly, the combination becomes incredibly powerful. Black and green together can be interpreted as life emerging from darkness. Strength rebuilding itself after pain. A soul finding renewal after loss. Now think again about Paint It Black, the legendary short program that defined Ryuichi's Olympic era. Originally released by the Rolling Stones in 1966, the song was built around themes of grief, emptiness, and emotional destruction. The lyrics describe wanting to paint everything black after losing light, love, and hope. That darkness became the emotional core of Ryuichi's short program. But now, for this new exhibition, green has been added to the black. And that changes everything. Because retirement itself represents the end of one life chapter. Competitive skating is over. Olympic pressure is gone. The career that shaped their identities for years has officially ended. So if this new exhibition is truly about rebirth after that ending, then the choice of black and green becomes almost perfect symbolism. And choreographers as experienced as Shailin Bourne do not choose colors randomly. Her programs always tell stories. Every movement, every visual choice, every opening image usually carries meaning beneath the surface. If this new piece is truly a spiritual continuation of Paint It Black, then the story logically has to explore what comes after darkness. What comes after loss? What comes after the ending? Fans have already started building this theory online. Across social media, many viewers believe the black and green symbolism represents a journey from despair toward hope, from emotional darkness toward rebirth. And honestly, the interpretation feels impossible to ignore. Now, let's talk about the most mysterious image in the post. The photo of Ryuichi Kihara collapsed on the ice. At first glance, it looks casual. He appears to be lying face down during a break in choreography practice, still wearing winter clothing and not even fully prepared to skate. Nearby, Shailin Bourne stands watching while Riku Miura remains upright beside him. But many figure skating insiders believe this may not be a random practice photo at all. They believe it could actually reveal the opening pose of the new exhibition program itself. And if that theory is true, the storytelling implications become extremely powerful. In figure skating, the opening position of a performance often determines the emotional tone of the entire program. Some programs begin standing tall. Others begin sitting quietly. But programs that begin from a fallen position almost always symbolize transformation or rebirth. A body lying on the ice before slowly rising carries a clear emotional message. It represents someone standing back up after darkness. Someone rebuilding themselves after collapse. Someone beginning again. And the most fascinating detail is this. The person lying on the ice is Ryuichi Kihara. Traditionally, in pair skating, the man leads while the woman responds. That structure has existed for generations. But this new choreography may completely reverse that dynamic. If Riku Miura becomes the emotional force guiding the story forward while Ryuichi begins from a broken or fallen position, then the program instantly becomes something far more modern and artistically daring than traditional pair skating narratives. International skating media have already started noticing this possibility. And it connects perfectly to something Shailin Bourne once said while discussing the creation of Yuzuru Hanyu's legendary Saimai program. She explained that the vision did not come entirely from her alone. Instead, her strength as a choreographer comes from discovering the skater's inner vision and transforming it into a story on the ice. That philosophy matters here. Because if the same choreographer who helped create Olympic-level history through Paint It Black is now shaping Rikuria's post-retirement story, then this new exhibition may become something even more personal than their competitive programs ever were. Not a performance designed for judges, not a routine created to earn points, but pure artistic expression. A story about identity after competition. A story about what remains after the medals are won. And finally, there's the location itself. Kansai Ice Arena, near Kansai International Airport in Osaka Prefecture. Compared to the famous skating centers in Tokyo and Nagoya, this rink remains relatively unknown. It is rarely used as a major venue for large international competitions, and it stays far away from the intense spotlight of Japan's biggest skating arenas. So why would Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara choose this exact location for the very first creative project of their post-retirement life? There are probably two major reasons. The first is privacy. Ever since their retirement announcement, media attention surrounding Riku has been non-stop. By choosing a quieter rink with less national attention, they likely created a space where they could focus purely on creativity without constant cameras following them everywhere. Ever since their retirement announcement, every move made by Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara has been watched closely by fans, reporters, and the figure skating world. That is exactly why choosing a quieter, less public rink may have been important. By working in a place with less media attention, the two could protect the one thing they needed most after retirement, a pure creative space. They were no longer preparing for judges. They were no longer chasing scores. They were building art. And to create something meaningful, they needed silence. The second reason may be geography. Riku Miura's hometown, Takarazuka City in Hyogo Prefecture, belongs to the Kansai region. So by creating this program in Kansai, the choice may carry a deeper personal meaning. It may suggest that Kansai is not only a place from Riku's past, but also a possible base for their future. And that future could become much bigger than fans expect. If Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara ever establish a coaching center in Japan, something like a Rikoryu Academy, Kansai would be a very natural candidate. Not only because of its personal connection to Riku, but because it could become the place where their next dream begins. But the most important connection is the Destiny Tour. From July 31st to August 2nd, this tour is expected to take place at Tokyo Tatsumi Ice Arena, and many fans believe this new exhibition program may be shown there for the very first time. The title itself is powerful: Destiny. A word connected to fate, meeting, timing, and everything that brought Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara together. And if this new program is truly choreographed by Shailin Bourne as a story of rising from darkness, then the first thing audiences may see is not just a performance. They may witness the first page of Rikuria's post-retirement era. That is why this exhibition matters so much. It may become a bridge between the past and the future. On one side is Paint It Black, the program that carried their competitive story through darkness, pressure, and Olympic history. On the other side is this new work, a program that may represent rebirth, freedom, and life after competition. Shailin Bourne was one of the key people who helped shape the final chapter of their competitive career. Now, she may also become the person who helps write the first chapter of their new era. Riku Miura wrote that the program is becoming very cool and that they will train hard so they can show Rikoryu to everyone again. But those words no longer sound like the words of an athlete. They sound like the words of an artist. Show Rikuryu to everyone. That phrase carries a completely different weight now. Longtime fans understand it immediately. This is no longer about proving themselves. It is about sharing who they are. And actually, their post-retirement activities did not begin with the May 18th Instagram post. On May 1st, only 2 weeks after announcing retirement, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara had already returned to the ice at an ice show in Hyogo Prefecture. In front of a sold-out crowd of 2,503 people, they performed lifts with the same quality, speed, and emotional control that once defined their competitive programs. There were no judges, no scores, no medals, but their standard did not drop. That moment revealed something important. Even without competition, their commitment to quality remained exactly the same. During that event, Riku Miura held the microphone and said something deeply meaningful. She said that in pair skating, meeting your partner feels like destiny.
Destiny.
That single word became a hint toward everything that came next. Later, Ryuichi Kihara also spoke about the concept behind the show. He explained that they wanted to use a rink the same size as competition and allow the audience to feel the same speed, power, and intensity as a real match. That statement is important because it proves one thing clearly. Retirement changed their title, but it did not change their standards. They also revealed future plans. They want to earn coaching qualifications and, someday, create a Rikuryu Academy. Not Riku Academy, not Ryuichi Academy, Rikuryu Academy. Even after retirement, their names remain connected as one. In the history of figure skating, not many pair skaters have built powerful post-retirement careers. Olympic champion Aljona Savchenko moved into coaching. Former Canadian pair skater Megan Duhamel became active as a commentator and coach. But Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara may be trying to become something even broader. Competitors, coaches, artists, storytellers, creators, all at the same time. For Japanese figure skating, that could become a completely new kind of challenge. Personally, when I saw this post, I did not feel like I was watching two athletes who had ended their journey. I felt like I was watching two artists who had just begun a new one. Less than 1 month after retirement, they were already creating a new work with the choreographer they trust most. That speed, that confidence, and that lack of hesitation showed a powerful message. Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara are not stopping. The Olympic gold medal was a historic achievement. But for them, it was not the final destination. It may have been the starting line for something new. And that is what this single Instagram post quietly tells us. Now, with the Destiny Tour getting closer, fans are waiting for the day they can finally see the full shape of this new program with their own eyes. What kind of destiny are Shaolin-born Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara riding together? What color will that destiny have? Will it be black? Will it be green? Or will it be something completely new, born from loss, rebirth, and the courage to begin again? Retirement was not the end. It was a new beginning. And maybe, without realizing it, we have already seen the first page of that beginning. Now I want to ask you, what meaning do you see in the black and green hashtags? What kind of theme do you expect from this new exhibition program? Share your thoughts in the comments. On this channel, we will continue bringing you the latest updates, emotional stories, and original analysis centered on Rikuryu and the world of figure skating. Please subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.